Trevor Matich, who can help us find out, A, what went wrong, B, how do we fix it, and C, what about next week? Hello, Trevor.
Hello, Brian.
All right, so it's me and Dan Bongino in today. So are you bummed?
I'm astonished. I mean, I am thoroughly astonished at how absolutely, utterly inept this team is playing. I mean, after last week's loss, I thought that it was still okay. You know, they'll come around, RG3 will shake off the rust. But right now it looks like they couldn't beat Maryland. Actually, right now nobody can beat Maryland. They're undefeated.
But you really you're sort of caught off guard by just how bad across the board they were?
Well, yeah, the offense doesn't work the way that they're using RG3. And he's still rusty, and that's not his fault. But the way they're using him, it's impossible for this thing to work. And the secondary, which I thought would take a few lumps playing two rookies as much as they are, and that's okay too. I thought they'd come around, but I didn't think those rookies would be so thoroughly, absolutely lost. And you put that combination together, and the Redskins have been outscored in the first half, in the first two games, 50-7.
I know.
50-7. Now, that's not competitive, is it?
No, it's not.
And Trevor, you can't win a game with Aaron Rodgers throwing for 335 yards in the first half. I mean, that's a Pro Bowl performance for an entire game, not just the first half. I mean, what were they doing back there, playing tiddlywinks in the secondary?
Yeah, the secondary, I mean, it's one thing. Bakari Rambo, the safety, rookie, took his lumps last week against Green Bay. This week didn't really change too much. He was out of position a lot. He was doing football-y things that kind of looked like they were in the realm of football.
I like that. Football-y things.
They weren't the decisive decisions based on what you see in front of you and how you proactively respond to it. But he's a rookie, okay, and Rodgers is good at making guys like that look bad. So that was part of the problem. David Amerson, the rookie corner, who's got a great upside, tall, rangy. He's going to be a good player here. But Rodgers, as NFL quarterbacks do, looked across the field and said, there's a rookie there. And he was doing football-y things. He was near receivers a lot, but he couldn't finish and make a play and knock the ball away. So part of it was just we got outclassed on that side of the ball. But part of it also was we had veterans like Josh Wilson flying around like an unguided missile in the secondary. He's a corner. Just it looked like he closed his eyes and dove at ball carriers and just missed them left and right and up and down. And so, on the one hand, you can excuse some things and chalk it up to the opponent's excellence and your own youth. But then when you have veterans doing that, it's crazy.
All right, so look, I didn't bring it up, but earlier this morning when we talked about the Redskins, some people called in. I said, what do you think is the solution here? What do we need to do? I had several people who called and said, Kirk Cousins should start. Now, I'm not going to. I don't want to be the guy accused of starting the quarterback controversy.
Listen to you, Brian.
But I'm going to ask you as the expert. The overall sense was, hey, look, we love RG3. We think he's amazing, and when he's healthy, nobody can touch him. But he's still not healthy. That was their assessment. What do you say?
Well, see, that's fun to think about. But RG3 is the future. And what do you do if you sit him down? I mean, do you give him 2 series a game? Do what do you do? I mean, he's healthy enough to do enough that they need to let him play through it. The problem is the way they're using it. The thing is, he doesn't need to run the ball between the tackles and slam into linebackers and take big hits all the time. But I thought one of the keys to the game yesterday was to have them move the pocket. In other words, if he stays behind the center to throw the ball, then the launch point, the place that he's standing when he actually releases that ball, is in a predictable place. And Green Bay blitzed that spot. They blitzed that launch point with all kinds of creative pressures, and they got there. It's hard to stop them when they know exactly where you'll be, and they're not afraid that you'll leave that spot. And so they come after it, and they pressured him there. What I thought they would do is move that launch point. In other words, take the snap and then do a roll to the right, do a roll to the left, a play-action pass where you would then roll out to one side or the other, so they have to change their path in order to get to where you are.
What I'm hearing here, Trevor, seems to be criticism aimed at Kyle Shanahan.
Yes. This is a question that I want from Kyle, and for his dad, Mike Shanahan, the head coach, why in the world did you not change the launch point? Even on play-action pass. Most of the game, he would fake the pass and drop right back to the same launch point directly behind the center. And the thing is, he's healthy enough to sprint down a rope line high-fiving fans. Well, if you're healthy enough to do that, you're healthy enough to take a snap and sprint 5 yards to the right and set up there. Why did they not do that? That, to me, is an astonishing question. And it may be that the play caller just didn't want to. It may be that RG3 told the play caller, you will not roll me out. I will play like Peyton Manning. I will be like a pocket passer now. And either way, you've got hard-headed obstinance that is causing a problem with the team's ability to maximize its potential without risking RG3. Now, I don't know why they didn't change the launch point, but it allowed Green Bay to have open season target practice, and it gave the Redskins offense no chance to have any kind of a passing game.
All right, so very quickly, in 20 seconds, the Lions.
Lions, I think, will be harder for the Redskins to beat even than Green Bay. They come in with a defensive line that's got Ndamukong Suh, who not only is one of the most or the most physical defensive linemen in the league, he's also the dirtiest defensive lineman in the league. The Redskins don't have a guy that can match up. Actually, nobody really has a guy that can match up against him. They've got a couple of other defensive linemen that are not as dirty, but that are every bit as explosive. They've got a quarterback in Matthew Stafford and a receiver in Calvin Johnson, Megatron, who is the most dangerous pair in the league. I don't see how the Redskins are going to come within 40 points of these
Listen,
guys.
we got to leave it.
They don't change.
We got to leave it right there, Trevor Matich. Thank you so much.